agarraron a mi hija, agarraron a mi esposa. Ay, por favor, alguien que me venga a buscar. Estoy aquí en Dallas, Texas, en Kimball. Yo le doy $300, por favor, vengan a buscarme. Ay, me agarraron, compadre, agarraron a mi hija, agarraron a mi mamá, a mi esposa.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. All my people are getting attacked. The children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise. I'm struggling a lot today. Seeing all these videos of the hate going around with this mass deportation. And it hurts my heart because, you voted for who you voted for. But why so much hate? How can you mock the kids that are losing their parents? Or the parents that are losing their kids? Living in constant fear for what may happen to your friends and your family. And even people that you see on social media. It hurts. It hurts. Because why is there so much hate? Why do you have to be this way?
Okay, is anybody else getting really emotional watching all of these protests go around the world, even close by? Whenever I hear that song, the song, the Mexican anthem song right now, and the Mexican flags, and people singing together of all races. God, my heart. It makes me tear up. I posted a video yesterday. I know a lot of us right now are feeling just completely disappointed and devastated. And I just want you to know, don't let those feelings overcome what is fact. Yes, there are quite a few people that hate Mexicans, but also there are quite a lot more that love us. They love the culture, they love the language, they love the music, the food, everything, and they're going to stand with us, okay? So don't feel completely abandoned, because we're not abandoned. And like I said, Mexicans, we are pinches chingones, cabrones. Like, we always, anytime we fall down, we cry, but we get our asses right back up and keep on going. And that's never, ever going to change. So you can hate Mexicans all you want to. It doesn't matter. People love us, and we're here to stay no matter what happens.
PSA, the deportation's happening. It's not a controversial or sensitive subject. For those who are saying that right now, it's not that deep. You either believe in humanity, you have empathy, or you don't. It's never been that complicated. All these people getting deported right now, it's like breaking my heart. That could have been you. That could be you.
In a sweeping escalation of immigration enforcement, U.S. federal authorities have intensified deportation efforts across multiple states, particularly in Texas. Over the past weekend, hundreds of individuals were arrested in large-scale operations involving ICE, the FBI, DEA, and CBP. Officials claim the focus is on potentially dangerous criminal aliens, though concerns remain that long-time residents and law-abiding individuals may also be targeted. The crackdown follows President Trump's directive to significantly increase deportation raids, setting a goal of at least 1,500 arrests per day. This policy shift has led to expanded military involvement, with an Air Force jet recently transporting 80 deported migrants from Texas to Guatemala. The flight, originating from Fort Bliss, had to avoid Mexican airspace, resulting in an extended 7-hour journey, marking a growing role for the military in immigration enforcement.
Hi everybody, how's everyone doing? We are experiencing firsthand the effects of the new policies that have been put into place by the current administration in my neighborhood. ICE did a raid near my daughter's high school this past Sunday. There's a Brazilian market near her school, and 2 immigrants were picked up. So the report said. My 16-year-old daughter has been telling me that there are people who are absent from her classes who are Latino. I've been hearing that this has been happening across the country, and it is happening right here in Philadelphia, that Hispanic children are afraid to come to school. My daughter tells me that some of her friends have not been there this week, and that those people are Latino students. It's really upsetting to think that they have yet another reason to be afraid to go to school. These kids are already afraid to go to school because of the gun violence, and I talk about that a lot on my page, but now they're also afraid of immigration. And the sad thing is that just brown families in general are afraid of it, whether they're immigrants or not, because they're picking up citizens as well who look the part of immigrants. Puerto Ricans have reported being picked up for speaking Spanish. Native Americans even have been reported being picked up, which has so many layers of ludicrousness that I can't even begin to unpack it. It's disconcerting to see it happening around you, something that you're hearing about on the news, to actually see it going down in your own neighborhood and at your child's school just makes it so much more real. We have to do something about this. People can't live this way. It's only been a few days. It's only been 10 days. And we've got 4 years to go.
Here are 3 reasons why what's happening right now with the ICE raids is terrifying. Now, I usually come on here and talk about being a candle maker and the process of making candles, or how to make sure wax melts last longer, or how to remove wax. And all of those things are great and still align with who I am. But as a Hispanic woman, honestly, y'all, I'm having a really hard time right now in this country. And there's many reasons why I feel this way, but I want to give you 3 real examples why I find this so troubling. The first one, I have a girlfriend of mine that lives in Atlanta, Georgia, who is also a Hispanic woman. And yesterday she sent me a text letting me know that there was an ICE raid in the MARTA, and that she was terrified to be targeted because of the way she looks. Because when you're Hispanic, I can't hide this. I'm Hispanic through and through. And so now you're targeting American citizens, or quite honestly, just human beings, because of the way that we look. How's that right? I have another girlfriend who was telling me that in her community, there is a lot of not only Hispanics, but Asian Americans, Korean community, who are a little afraid to send their kids to school because ICE raids are now happening in elementary schools. How do you explain that to a kid? How do you live in fear that you're going to send your kid to school and your kid may not come back? Or that your kid might sort of point them to you where you are, when all you've done is come to this country and work hard. Now, I know this is controversial, and I know that there's a lot of people that are probably going to give me hate about this and tell me all of the reasons why immigrants are taking jobs and all of that. And if that's you, I respect your opinion, but quite frankly, I don't want to hear it on here, because I hear that opinion every single day. And I'm trying to build a community who sees each other, not by the color of our skin, but as human beings who deserve to be respected and treated with kindness. And the third thing, out of the many things that is currently weighing heavy on my heart, and I find extremely troubling in this sentiment or this time that we're living in our country, is the amount of hate and separation that we are feeding into as a society. At the end of the day, you and I, we are human beings here living our lives every day, trying to love, trying to work, trying to build our dreams. And it breaks my heart that we're so separated. It shouldn't be that way. So these things are weighing heavy on my mind. I'm sorry you're not hearing about candles today, maybe tomorrow, but I felt like I needed to be authentic and say something because it's a really sad time here in our country, and it's hard. It's hard not to feel charged and sad and angry and upset and all of the things. So if that is you today, I want you to know you're not alone. And let's support one another. Let's build each other up. Let's model positivity. Let's be kind. And let's love one another.
Okay, so I've kind of have had a hard couple of days. And I almost want to cry when I think about or I see all these ICE raids that are happening. My dad crossed over for Mexico when he was, I want to say about 13, 14 years old. And he came over here just like many other immigrants to make a better life for himself. And with that, he has done tremendous, amazing things. And I would not be like the person I am without him and without my mother. And my mom, her dad also crossed over and was an immigrant, and her grandparents were immigrants, and my mom married an immigrant. And I just think about like the fear that many US citizens, people born here, like don't have any family that was immigrants. I don't think they realize the fear that immigrants live in. The fear of possibly having to go back to a country that is unsafe, a country that is very poor, a country that does not have the opportunities that America has. Yes, of course, like, we go to Cancun, we go to Tulum, we go to Puerto Vallarta, we go, like, Americans, US citizens, they go to those beautiful places and they go, oh, well, I would love to come back here. But that's not all of Mexico. That's not all of these other Hispanic countries. That is not how it is. I've here in America, I've never had to live in fear of when my next meal will be. I've never had to live in fear of, will my only future be a housewife? And will my only future be just having kids and no opportunities as a woman? I have never had to live in fear of, am I going to wake up the next day, or am I going to be killed by the cartel? I have never had to live in fear of, okay, once my kid gets a certain age, they're gonna cross over to another country and I may never see them again. I have never had to live in that fear, nor will I ever have to. And so it is so hard to see like these ICE raids and seeing hardworking Hispanics, hardworking men and women have to be taken back to a country that they purposely left because they didn't see the opportunities or feel safe to be there. That's scary, that's sad. And then I hear about possibly taking away citizenship if your parents were illegal and you were born here. I think of family members that I have that have never been to where our family lives in Mexico. And how can they go back over there not knowing the culture, not knowing how it is over there when they've grown up here? And I've tried to, I guess, kind of comprehend, like, yes, I understand that there are immigrants here that don't contribute, that are doing horrible things, causing crime. I understand that, but how many of them, of the immigrants that come, are actually here to help our economy, to help work here, to help, like how many of them have had children that have revolutionized America? Like how many, like, it's just, I just can't imagine living in that fear. And I hope that people can see that, yes, I understand that there is, like, I understand that some immigrants are causing crime, that some immigrants are doing this. Like, I understand that. I see that. I can, like, acknowledge that. But what I cannot see, what can I not acknowledge, is how you can go to farms, how you can go to a job site, how you can go to a school and think it is okay to just take all those people and send them where they've never grown up, or where they've purposely left. And so I hope this hits a platform of people that, I guess, stand behind what I'm saying and can see or be open to see how things are. As a Latina, where I have gone to visit where my dad is from, Mexico, and I've grown up here in America, like, I am always grateful. Like, I love my culture and I love my roots, but I've always been grateful that I was born over here, because I don't think people, like, I never realized how much opportunities I've had over here as a woman. I've had the chance to go to school, to not have to marry young, to not have to have kids right away, to have the chance to live my life for me, and not for knowing, oh, well, my destiny is just to be a wife and just to have kids. I have never had to be like that. And I've never had to worry about, I've just never had to worry about a lot of things in my life. And seeing these ICE raids has really opened my eyes to how fortunate I am. And I just pray that all these people that are getting sent back, that they know that, like, I've appreciated them, and that I've, like, I wish I could take them and help them. And I'm just, like, I am just so grateful for all the immigrants that are over here that are working outside in this cold weather, for all the immigrants that are doing jobs that Americans do not want to do. I'm grateful for them. And some people may not agree with my views, and that's okay. Like, that's the part of having freedom of speech and freedom of views and things like that. I understand. But I just hope that if you watch this video, you are open to seeing that this is not okay. It's not. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And I love my fellow Latinos, and Viva Mexico. And I hope that we are who can make a change out here. I really hope we are.
I have worked in immigration for the last, about 9 years. And I can never support Trump because of his inhumane immigration policies, point blank, period. I don't care if he has the potential to improve the economy. To me, the economy is not the main concern. I care more about the way human beings are being treated, specifically immigrants coming into the United States. I've worked in immigration law under the Obama administration, the first Trump administration, the Biden administration, and now under Trump's second term. You know what Obama did? He created DACA. You know what the first Trump administration did? Separated children from their mothers at the border. Babies. The Trump administration got sued. And to this day, there's how many, 100,000 kids still missing, unaccounted for, that have yet to be reunited with their mother? And you know, the Biden administration did establish some hurdles for asylum seekers, absolutely. However, the general vibe in the immigration field under Biden it had a much more humanitarian approach to it. Specifically with DHS being more amenable to dismissing cases. Now it's the complete opposite. The immigration vibe under Trump is hostile, literally hostile. We had a client where we emailed DHS asking them if they would be willing to dismiss our client's case. She has been here over 10 years, has 3 kids that are United States citizen, minor children. She's a single parent, their primary breadwinner. She has no criminal record. She's not an enforcement priority if they would just be willing to throw her case out. On June 18, DHS says, absolutely, we agree. She's not an enforcement priority. We will be willing to dismiss her case. By the time the office reopened Tuesday, January 21st, we got another email from DHS saying, sorry, we can no longer offer PD and dismiss this case. The enforcement priorities have changed. So you're telling me that under the Trump administration, anyone who is undocumented is an enforcement priority. Even a mother who has no criminal record, who has lived over 10 years in the United States, has 3 minor United States citizen children. She's an enforcement priority. She has to. Okay, so this video is for all of the influencers or even anyone in general who is wondering how to help during this time where ICE is basically going after everyone who's undocumented. I've seen a lot of influencers saying like, oh, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I going to change? So here's an idea for you, okay? If you don't know what to do, if you don't even want to speak out on social media, I get it, but make yourself useful. And I'm going to do it as well. Print out some of these cards, print out these flyers, and go drop them off in places where people actually need them. And so basically, I found the red cards available on Google. It is a file, and I'm going to put the link in my bio so that you can click on the link. It'll take you to the printable printout of the red cards. You can use cardstock, you can use papers. There's also going to be a link for a flyer that shows you how to actually use your red card, because the red card has the rights that you should know as an immigrant, and I'm going to put it in Spanish because I feel like the majority of people being targeted are Hispanic or Mexican. And then the flyer is going to tell you, like I said, how to use it. So it explains like what to do if someone knocks on your door, and what to do with your red card when someone knocks on your door, or what to do with your red card if you get stopped while you're outside of your home. Print the red cards and print the flyers, and then staple the red card and the flyers together and go drop these off at Mexican-owned businesses or immigrant-owned businesses. Ask them if they want to tape the flyers up on their doors. Also in this link, you have the option for several different languages, because maybe in your city or your area, there is an influx of like a different race of immigrants. I don't know if I said that right. Don't come at me, you know what I mean. So there's like Chinese, there's Vietnamese, there's French, there's Spanish, there's English. So pick whatever language applies to the people in your area. And again, I feel like this is a small idea of what we can do to help people during these times, because we see the red card going out like all around TikTok, but not everybody uses TikTok, not everybody uses social media, and it is helpful to have a visual aid for people when this actually happens, and like, you know, people can carry it around in their purse. And if you have any more ideas, I encourage you to make a video of the idea and make a video of you actually going out into your community and making the idea. But I would recommend against, like, if you do drop off flyers, like, don't film yourself at the locations that you're dropping them off at, because you don't know, people are evil. They might take that as like, oh, immigrants hang out there, so we're gonna send ICE there. So just be careful with that.
With immigration raids intensifying and the administration expanding enforcement powers, fear is spreading among undocumented communities. Some state and local officials in Texas have pledged to support federal actions, while others demand clearer guidelines on how enforcement will affect schools and public spaces. As deportations increase, uncertainty looms over the future of millions of undocumented individuals living in the U.S.